What's going on, everyone? So, with the Los Angeles Lakers now having Marcus Smart, I think that there is a genuine conversation about Austin Reaves moving to the bench. Seen some talks about, hey, Rui should go to the bench, and Rui should be the one that is the kind of the sixth man role, the scorer off the bench. The reason I don't like that is because, yes, Marcus Smart can defend threes, most threes in the NBA. But he's 6'3" with a 6'9" wingspan. He's just like insanely strong, insanely tough. But his advantages are more kind of maximized when he's guarding guards, right? Because that insane wingspan allows him to better smother the opposing, offensive player, right? Most guards, two guards are in that, 6'3" to even a bigger one would be 6'6", 6'7". Well, Marcus Smart's wingspan is bigger than them, right? So, it just gives you a greater advantage. The problem is that if I'm being honest, before I dive into this fully, if I'm being honest, I don't think the Lakers are going to sit any of them unless a trade ends up happening. We'll see. And I'll go more in depth into kind of like my ideal roster and rotation and all that stuff. Once we get closer to training camp, I'll really kind of break everything down in this team because I want to wait. The roster might be exactly what it is going into training camp, but it might not, right? We're still 2.5 months away from training camp. So I don't want to be like, oh, this is how we're going to do it. And then half the guys aren't even on the roster. But Austin Reaves, I do expect to be on the roster regardless. If the Lakers do trade him, it's going to probably be closer to the trade deadline. I think the Lakers are going to kind of want to see how does this all look? How does this weigh out? And I just think Austin Reaves as the sixth man is the best option for the Lakers at this point. There's already this bit of redundancy with Luca, Austin Reaves, and LeBron James. But beyond that redundancy, I even talked about this during the season when we got Luca. And it's not even about the redundancy, it's just the way in which Luca likes to play. In the first quarter in particular, Luca likes to establish himself, and it kind of dictates the rest of the game for him. You'll see more often than not, right? The first 5 minutes of the game, he'll take half of his attempts. He'll have 20 attempts at the end of the game, and 10 of them were in the first 5 minutes of the game, because he likes to be aggressive early, kind of see what kind of rhythm is he in, and then that kind of again determines how he unfolds the rest of the game. So then you saw in the playoffs, Austin Reaves essentially gets relegated to just a catch and shoot 3-point shooter because he doesn't get to get maximized. Now that doesn't mean that at times throughout the game or towards the end of the game or whatever that you can't kind of implement and employ Austin Reaves in the manner. You can still play Austin Reaves 35 minutes a game if you want. It's just in that first 5 minutes, I think the Lakers are in their best if they put two defensive pieces around Luca, LeBron, and DeAndre Ayton, right? Because everything's going to run through Luca. And you'll have LeBron James, who could still be LeBron, but we've seen LeBron likes to kind of take the back seat early on. Kind of likes other guys to handle their business, and Austin Reaves or Luca, or before it was Anthony Davis. And then LeBron in the second quarter, he'll kind of trickle in. I mean, how many times have we seen at halftime, LeBron's got 4 points. And at the end of the game, he finishes with 32. And it's he scored 28 in the second half. It's yeah, because he wants to kind of let other guys get going, other guys cooking, especially now that you have Luca. So to me, it's let Luca cook. Let DeAndre Ayton get the reciprocation of Luca and setting him up early. And then LeBron James playing off ball as a catch-and-shoot 3-point shooter, which he's much improved in over the years. And then you have a Marcus Smart, who could be, that catch-and-shoot 3-point shooter, but gives you that point of attack defense and that versatility. And then a Jared Vanderbilt, in my opinion. And yes, I want Rui to come off the bench also. We'll touch on that here in a moment. But you have a Jared Vanderbilt, and now hopefully he's better improved 3-point shooting. But even if he's not, you now have the defense that helps you in two ways, right? Because either A, Luka's going to start slow and his offense isn't cooking to the way that you need it to, but he's not going to be okay, well, no, he's going to try to get himself in a rhythm. So at least now you have the defensive pieces to kind of keep you in those games rather than you getting blitzed because, Luka's trying to generate offense, right? The other side of that is Luca does start cooking, and Luca is torching the other team, and now you have the defense that can slow down the opponents and create that separation. So if Luca's having his struggles early, you can kind of close the gap. If Luca's torching and kicking, you can kind of, gain the gap, right? So to me, I think regardless, you should have the defensive units. Obviously, I'd prefer a more 3-and-D style guy, but I just think you have better balance in the starting unit. But again, just because you start a particular unit doesn't mean you have to close with that particular unit, right? So Marcus Smart, if you want to close with Smart at the 3, then fine, that's what you can do. But to start the game, I think Austin Reaves and Rui Hachimura should be coming off the bench. Now you raise your bench production. Also, now Rui can slot into his natural position of the 4. He can still play the 3 at times. Again, you can still play both guys 30 minutes a night. You can still have the unit of Luca, Austin Reaves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton out there on the basketball court. Right? I'm talking about starting in that first 5 to 7 minutes. Right? I just think now Luca goes to the bench to get rest up and ready, and then Austin Reaves come in, and LeBron and Reaves can play their 2-man game, and Reaves can now be on ball, and he can handle all the dirty work, and then you have, a Marcus Smart, and, maybe at that point you're bringing in a Jake LaRavia or a Rui Hachimura. So my point is that, like, the way I would structure it is, again, you have Luca, Marcus Smart, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton. At the 7-minute mark, so the first 5 minutes of the game, take out Luca, unless he's killing. If he's just like lights out, then no, leave him in the game. Take out LeBron, put in Reaves, and then slot in Rui at the 4. Boom! If Luca's coming out, okay, then fine. Take Luca out, slot Austin Reaves, and then take out Jared Vanderbilt and slot in Rui Hachimura. Boom! Right? Either way, you can kind of operate. That's the beauty of Rui Hachimura, especially if they're going to keep Rui. But now what you're doing is you're maximizing Austin Reaves as a player, because now he gets to be that Luca light, the Wish version of Luca. He gets to now be that guy for the Lakers, rather than where he has to primarily play off ball. He can't defend, right? They're gonna target him and Luca, and it's like, okay, well, what about the backcourt, right? And then look, if Austin Reaves, Luka Doncic, and LeBron James, and Rui Hachimura and DeAndre Ayton, if those 5 guys are just killing it that game, then you close with those 5. Right? See, I get comments all the time, like, who do I want to close, right? Who do I want to start and who do I want to close? I told you who I want to start. Who do I want to close? Whoever the 5 best players are that night. Right? Like, I don't think your closers have to always be who your starters are. Right? Like, there's nights where Austin Reaves is just terrible. And it's like, hey, buddy, tonight's not your night. You just don't got it tonight. It's fine. Let's close with the guy. Marcus or Jake LaRavia is torching. Jake LaRavia is 7 of 8 from 3-point range. Dude, you're 1 of 7, right? You got 8 points. Like, tonight's not your night, right? We're going to go with Jake LaRavia. We're going to go with Marcus Smart. We're going to go with LeBron James and DeAndre Ayton, right? Like, yes, obviously your superstars like Luca and LeBron, you're not going to bench. You're probably not benching Ayton because, it's DeAndre Ayton, but most people think because you start somebody means you have to finish somebody, or because you start somebody, that starter has to play 40 minutes. Like, no, right? Again, you're starting, you want the best start to a game. What gives you the best start every night? And I think it's Luca being Luca, with LeBron playing off ball, DeAndre Ayton and Luca running that 2-man game, and then you have 2 3-and-D guys, though we don't really have 2 and 3-and-D guys. Maybe it's Jake LaRavia at some point. Right? Maybe Jake LaRavia actually is that A defender and 3-point shooter. Maybe you're starting Jake LaRavia instead of Jared Vanderbilt. I don't care. My point is, I just want the defense to be able to kind of close the gap. And I think Austin Reaves off the bench is the best way to maximize him, maximize the starters, maximize the overall team. It's like, it's not what's best for him, it's what's best for the team. Right? What is the best version of the Lakers? And I think the best version of the Lakers is with Austin Reaves coming off the bench. Problem is again, I don't think the Lakers are going to do that. 2, I don't think Austin Reaves is going to want to do that. 3, if you're the Lakers, right, we might not agree with it, but if you're the Lakers, you have to kind of appease Reaves, right? You want to kind of keep him happy right now, because no matter what ends up happening, whether the Lakers keep him, trade him, or let him walk, whatever, you want him to work with you. Right? If he's going to do a new deal, you want to keep him happy so you don't have to pay him $50 million, so that way you guys can find a middle ground. If you're going to trade him, you want him to be happy and work with you on that trade, because you got to keep in mind, right? Anybody that trades for him, if they think he's not going to resign, they're not going to trade for him. So if the Lakers end up, upsetting Austin Reaves and now he doesn't want to play ball with them, that could be a problem. Or you just lose him for nothing or whatever, right? So it's kind of a rock and a hard place for the Lakers. And but I think if I'm Rob, or if I, well, Rob too, but if I'm JJ, right, I would talk to Austin Reaves, be like, hey, we need the best balance, right? Like, at least have the conversation. If Austin Reaves is like, absolutely not, then fine, it is what it is, right? But I would talk to him, just be like, hey, man, like, I want to try it with this unit, right? With Luca, I want to maximize you. You will be the best version, right? If you get to play the minutes and you get to play the role and you get the money and all that stuff, do you really care about being a starter, right? Like, if we win a championship, you go this offseason and get $40 million. You come off the bench as the sixth man. You get the minutes, the role, and opportunity now. Like, do you really care as long as we're winning? Because if so, then that tells us everything we know about him. Right? That no, it's not just about the team. It's about he wants the individuality. He doesn't want just the team. Yeah, he wants to win, but he wants to win on his terms. Right? Okay, like that's fine. That's how you are. If that's what you want, it's not a bad thing. Most players are that way. Again, it's not a knock, but now we know, hey, he's probably not going to be a team player if we do this. So we can't do this. So are we trading him? Are we going to see how this goes? Right? Kind of let you know which direction you need to go. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.